Welcome to the Spiritually Embodied Leader podcast. I'm Cynthia Gutierrez, the creator of Embodied Freedom, and I love to help conscious, heart-centered, spirit-led entrepreneurs learn how to regulate their nervous system and move through an embodied transformation so they can start and grow their online business with confidence, authenticity, and aliveness for more meaningful income and a deeper impact. On this podcast, we're going to be talking about how embodiment, mindset, subconscious mind, cyclical living, returning to nature, ritual, and ceremony can all play a powerful role in revolutionizing you and your business from the inside out. Now let's get into it. I am bringing you many blessings on this earthly high holiday. In the Celtic tradition, it is known as Imbolc, and it is the exact midway point between winter and spring. So this is nature's check-in, okay? Because even though spring is coming and maybe you're starting to feel a little bit more of this like surge of energy, right? Nature is going to begin very soon, if it hasn't already, start to bring up little shoots of new life, and snow is going to start to melt, right? And while it can be so exciting for this new surge of energy, for the new earthly cyclical year to come around, it's very easy for us to be like, okay, yeah, like let's go, and just really like sprint right through it. I want to remind you that this is a marathon here, okay? It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And if you feel like you've been losing that steam since January 1st, especially when it comes to your goals and manifestations, right? That new me, new year thing that goes on, and you feel like you have been kind of disconnected from that, or the momentum has dropped out, or it's like, who was that person that like wrote down all of these goals, right? Super ambitious, which is a beautiful thing. Okay, I love my ambition, yet as a Capricorn, okay, this is about the long game, all right? This is about the long game. And I want to let you know that it's very normal, and it's like for sure going to happen if you put so much conscious effort in trying to like go and take off running from the get-go on January 1st, but you feel like you've lost some steam, you feel like the momentum has dropped out, and you don't feel that motivation anymore. That is perfect, actually, because all of that willpower that it takes to keep going day in and day out and never stop is fucking exhausting, okay? Because we are earthlings. We are cyclical beings, okay? And we also follow the cycles, the rhythm of the universe. Even though I'm sure you've heard that people will say, oh, time doesn't even exist. Time is just a human construct, right? I personally believe that time exists here in the 3D realm, but in other dimensions and other realms in the universe, it definitely doesn't exist. So it's like both and, right? But one thing that I truly honor and respect is the universal law of rhythm. It's in the Kabbalion, and it's one of the universal principles, all right? The universal law of rhythm. And there is definitely rhythm in the universe. There is definitely rhythm in our lives, okay? In the creative process, in birth, life, death, rebirth, mother, maiden, crone, right? And that's more of like a 3-phased cycle versus spring, summer, fall, autumn, or winter, right? The 4 phases in a cycle, the waxing moon, full moon, waning moon, new moon, the rising of the sun, the high noon, the setting of the sun, and the midnight hour, right? When there's no sun. Like, we are cyclical beings, and we live by the universal law of rhythm. And so the thing is, the conscious mind, which makes up 5% of your reality, is the goal setter, okay? Your conscious mind is the goal setter. It's the thing that you can focus on one thing at a time, and you pour all of this energy and attention to, and that's beautiful. Yet the subconscious mind is the goal getter. And the subconscious mind is what's going to be the long game. Okay, that's really what's going to determine whether you can or you can't. And even though we already have programming within the subconscious mind, because of neuroplasticity, we can change all of that at any given moment. Yes, it takes time, it takes effort, okay? It takes devotion to the process, but you can do it. I've done it for myself, I've done it for my clients, and it's freaking amazing. All right, so the subconscious mind is responsible for 95% of your reality. And like, okay, you see me here in this video, right? You are taking in the words, and sub part of your subconscious mind, conscious and subconscious is working together to form the meaning behind the words, right? That I'm saying for you to understand. But are you beating your own heart right now? Are you consciously trying to digest the food in your system? Are you shedding your skin? Are you actively trying to focus in on that in this moment? Or at any given moment, really, right? No, because that's your subconscious mind at its beautiful, miraculous work. And the subconscious mind can keep track of an innumerable amount of time, amount of things, right? And I've done NLP training. I'm an NLP practitioner, so there's like certain bits of information that the subconscious mind can take in. Like there's an actual number to it versus the conscious mind, which is like very little, okay? But when we can work with the subconscious mind and tap into what is underneath the surface, and especially working with the body, because what I believe is that the body is unconscious. The body is the physical manifestation of the subconscious mind. Okay, and when we can work from both ends, consciously, our mindset, right, the way we perceive the world, what we are actively doing in the moment, and we bring in the body, we bring in the subconscious, we work at an identity level, it's the best of both worlds, okay? And then what I also love to bring in is the spirit realm, spirituality, bringing in your soul essence. And a lot of the times when we put down our goals, right? Our conscious mind is like, ooh, I really want this thing. And you write it down, you set the goal. It's your subconscious mind that's going to achieve the goal. But sometimes, even for the conscious and subconscious mind, it's like that only has a certain amount of capacity, okay? And while the subconscious mind has a vastly wide potential to expand its capacity, there's this otherworldly capacity that is at your fingertips, that is in the breath that you breathe. And that is within the spirit realm. That is your higher self. That is your connection with God. That is your spirit team backing you up. And the thing is, you as the powerful co-creator of your life, you have to give permission for that support to come into your life, okay? And of course, there are divine interventions that it's like, oh my God, like spirit, higher self, like they are just like, yo, pay attention, right? But when you want to create something in your life and you want to become a version of yourself that does the things in order to have what you want, when you lean in on your spirit guides and you call upon their guidance and you say, here, you give it to God, literally, and you say, I give you my full, wholehearted permission to work on my behalf, make miracles happen, baby. And you just let go and surrender. So powerful, okay? And that's why I love bringing in our spirit guides into the mix. And so if you have already made that manifestation list, okay, January 1st, new me, new year, here we go, and you've lost some steam since then, or you feel disconnected to that version of yourself that was so open and expansive to the possibilities, because it's endless, right? The possibilities are endless, and that's beautiful. I love that for you. But if that has dropped out any amount, it's okay. It's normal. And the thing is, that is actually a sign that your subconscious mind hasn't fully gone on board yet. And maybe you feel like, oh my God, this is too much for me to handle all on my own. in which it is. You're not meant to do it all on your own. And yes, you can bring in a certain mentor, coach, facilitator, support you, but also you've got your spirit guides that they, like, no matter what you do, if you try to do things all on your own, you can only do so much. But your spirit teams, like, God can move mountains, you know what I mean? Like, that is a whole different support system that is completely out of your hands. Yet we can trust in that process. And from what I have experienced and what I've seen my clients experience, when we bring in our spirit guides, like, it's mind-blowing. And I've got podcast episodes on this. I think episode 10 and episode 16, is it? It says client breakthrough on my podcast, the Spiritually Embodied Leader podcast, where you see client breakthrough. You can listen in on their stories and it's miraculous. But what I really want to bring forth here is that if you feel like you have lost momentum for your manifestations in 2025, or you haven't really gotten on that train yet, right? It's like January 1st, like, fuck, we're in the thick of winter. Like, this whole new me, new year thing, like, I'm not ready for that yet. And that's totally okay. That's totally fine. Yet now that we have hit the midway point between winter and spring, and once spring comes, that is a whole new surge of energy. That is when the baby is born and it takes its first breath. That is the rise of the sun, and the first sun rays start to hit your skin. Yeah, and the birds are singing, right? It's a whole different energy here. It's the new year in the astrological year, right? The zodiac signs, Aries season, like, it's a whole different vibe, right? But if you haven't even gotten on that train yet, but you feel the inklings, you feel the pull, if you feel the nudge, or you feel like you want to reignite that passion and get your body, mind, and spirit on board, I want to invite you to Catalyst. It's a free, immersive masterclass that I am facilitating on Saturday, February 8th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this is going to be a ceremonial vision activation and an embodied initiation for 2025. So we're going to come together and be in ceremony together. I will open a sacred circle and call upon our guides, and we're going to go through this whole ceremony together to cast the vision, okay, to call upon our guides and give them permission to give an offering, right? Okay, it's all about sacred reciprocity here. And also tying in some other hypnotic goodies that I have in my back pocket to support you in manifesting the vision, the reality, the version of yourself that you feel is in your heart's desire, that you feel like your soul is calling you to manifest in 2025. And once we complete that ceremony, we're going to move through an embodied practice to really anchor in that manifestation, that timeline into your body. And I also got something else, another gift that I'm so excited that's going to just bring it all together so beautifully that you will be able to take with you, okay, download and hold on to it and lean on it when you need support and jumping into that timeline and activating that version of yourself, okay? Because it really is all about who you be in order to do the things and have what you want. Okay, we are going into the subconscious. We are going under the surface. This isn't a masterclass where you sit around and you hear somebody talk for an hour, 90 minutes straight. Okay, and look, like, I have some coaches that I absolutely love and they just talk my ear off. And honestly, it's like really uplifting, encouraging, high vibe conversations that they're having, right? But that is only coming at it from one direction. And that's okay. We need that, right? But there is so many other avenues, so many other doors into the same house that we can utilize and that I love to facilitate and help people start to tap into different channels of their embodied experience to also bring everything else on board online and working together. So this is not a typical sit down and hear somebody talk for an hour straight. This is an immersive experience. We're going to come into ceremony together. We're going to work with the subconscious mind, and we're going to anchor it into our bodies and call upon our spirit guides, okay? So your engagement and your participation, it will directly impact the outcome, the result. Okay, so I'm so freaking excited, and I have done this for myself. I've done this for many different clients, and the results are phenomenal. Okay, so I'm like, the sun is starting to set. I wonder if I can. Okay, that's better. I'm like, it's just sunset, and so the lighting was really starting to drop out here. But I am so freaking excited. Okay, so February 1st, honey, happy Imbolc, many blessings. And if you feel like, you know what, I am a bit of a tortoise, which happens, that's okay. And you're like just starting to feel the callings, the inklings of something new, something fresh, of your manifestations and your heart's desires starting to call you awake. Or you already know and you have that list, you have that vision in your mind's eye, and you're like, I was so excited for this January 1st, and now that it's February 1st, it's like, what happened? Join me inside of Catalyst. It's free immersive masterclass, and all registrants will get the replay. So if you can't make it live, that's okay. You will get the replay. And keep in mind, even though it's immersive and it's a ceremony that we're doing together, in ceremonial spaces, it is a time outside of time, a space outside of space. And it holds its own magic and potency regardless of what time you watch it, okay? Whether it's live or not, all right? So I encourage you to go for it. Just do it. Like, what do you got to lose? You know what I mean? Like, what's the worst that could happen? You just end up feeling good, right? So yes, the thing is, replay is there for you. And also, if you join live, it's going to be so freaking powerful because we'll be able to communicate in real time, right? And in the body and practice, like you'll be able to see me doing it on the video, and I could see you in real time, right? And like, it's that immediate feedback that we get to cultivate that experience, because it's not just about me having you do something. Like, I'm also reading the room. I'm picking up on different cues, consciously or subconsciously, that helps to curate an experience that is most supportive for you in that moment. Yeah. So anyway, please join me, Catalyst, free immersive masterclass on Saturday, February 8th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You'll get the replay and another goodie that I am so excited to share with you in there. But yeah, happy Imbolc. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful earthly high holiday. And keep in mind, this is a cyclical check-in, okay? If you have not been fully resting, or you feel like you've kind of just, it's a new month, like we're just going through the motions, this is nature's last call. This is nature's last call for you to really check in with yourself and say, hey, have I rested enough? Hey, like, do I really want the thing that I said I wanted at the beginning of the year? Or like, okay, I'm still going for this one goal that I set last year, but I'm still working on it. Like, reflect back on how things were, what worked, what didn't work. And how do you want to do things differently in this new cycle if you're still working on it? Like, what do you want to bring in more? What were the lessons that you learned? And how can you start to behave differently and show up differently from the lessons that you learned, right? So this is a beautiful cyclical check-in for you that Mother Nature is providing. And I am just a messenger for you to go in and evaluate and make those intentional, aligned decisions for yourself, okay? Okay, I send so much love, and the link to Catalyst, the free immersive masterclass, is in my bio. I'm probably going to post this on my podcast, so you'll find it in the show notes. If you ever have any questions, you can always DM me on Instagram. That's where I hang out the most. And yeah, okay, I'm so excited. All right, I love you so much, and I will chat with you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. May this podcast continue to activate the spiritually embodied leader within you. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to take a screenshot, share it on your stories, and tag me at embodiedfreedom.biz. If you'd like to express your appreciation, please rate the show and leave a review on iTunes. I'm looking forward to connecting again soon. Take care.